Over the past few weeks, the F1 world has been in full debate over American Colton Herta and his potential move from IndyCar to Formula 1. He initially had talks with Alfa Romeo last season during Andretti Autosport's attempt to purchase the Swiss team, which unfortunately for him amounted to nothing as the US team's negotiations with Sauber crashed and burned at the end of 2021. Since then though, McLaren have signed him as a development driver, giving him a test drive at Portimao, and more recently Red Bull have been eager to snatch up the American as a replacement for Pierre Gasly in 2023. Gasly, however, does have a contract with the team, but has been clear that he'd like to join Alpine if AlphaTauri allow it. So it's a simple fix, right? Gasly goes to Alpine, Herta comes into AlphaTauri. Well, unfortunately for everyone involved, the situation is not quite as simple as they might like it to be, as Colton currently doesn't hold enough super license points to take part in Formula 1. Now, if you don't know how super license and the points work, I'm not going to go into proper detail here, but the short of it is, the FIA awards you with them depending on your finishing result in whichever series you race in. The higher the result, the higher points given. Each series is awarded a different amount depending on how much the FIA think they're worth, and basically you need 40 points to get into Formula 1, Colton just has 32. Mainly due to the fact that IndyCar doesn't really get as many points as, F2 or F3 or anything like that. Now this is a whole different debate for another video, as instead of looking at the super license format today, I want to have a look at Colton Herta himself, and review his motorsport career thus far, to try and figure out, despite all this drama and all this hassle, is it actually worth it? Is he Formula 1 material? Let's find out, shall we? Colton was born in California, USA in March 2000 and began karting at the age of 6 before making his professional debut in 2010 in the SK USA and IKF series. He won 3 titles in 2 years and was a strong front runner in multiple others, so confidently made the jump to single-seaters in 2014. He completed the Cooper Tires USF 2000 Championship with consistent but mediocre results. However, this was his first time in an open-wheel formula, so we'll allow it, before he then travelled across the world to Japan for a one-off appearance in the Asia Cup Series, during which he took 3 podiums and a race win. Following on from the success, he then flew over to the UK and debuted in the MSA Formula Series, which is now known as British F4. He once again had a super consistent year, scoring 12 podiums, 4 of which being wins, on his way to finishing 3rd in the championship behind current BTCC driver Ricky Collard and his teammate Lando Norris. I wonder where he is these days. For 2016, Colton had planned to move to British F3, yet due to his age at the start of the season, he'd not be allowed to complete the opening rounds. So instead, he switched to the Euro Formula Open Championship, where he'd again finished 3rd with 4 wins and 6 podiums. Now, it was then in 2017 that Colton's career would take a sharp turn, as he flew his way back to America to enter in Indy Lights, immediately finding success, taking multiple wins and finishing in 3rd place once again, getting Rookie of the Year honours in the process. Now, I don't and never have watched Indy Lights. I barely watch IndyCar, to be fair, but when I look at the results for the 2018 championship, all I'm seeing is a Mercedes 2014 style dominance from both Colton and his Andretti teammate Pato O'Ward, with the pair taking all but 4 of the race wins that season, as Pato took the championship ahead of our man Herta. Inevitably, he then moved up to IndyCar for the next season, and that's where he stayed ever since. In 2019, he became the youngest IndyCar winner at just 18, as he took his first of just 2 wins that year, finishing 7th overall, just missing out on Rookie of the Year by 5 points. But all in all, it's a banging debut season. In 2020, he improved on this by finishing 3rd overall, his favourite position it seems, with just 1 win and 7 top 5s in 14 races. 2021 was a bit more of a struggle though. However, even still, he showed his talent, especially on the street circuits like St. Petersburg and Nashville, and purpose-built tracks like Laguna Seca. He would finish the year in 7th place with 2 wins to his name, and 2022 was more of the same, finishing in only 10th place with a single win at the Indy Road Course. However, away from IndyCar this year, he did manage to win the LMP2 class of the Daytona 24 Hour, driving for Dragon Speed alongside Pato O'Ward, Devin Francesco and Eric Lux. And that pretty much brings us up to now. So, from his career thus far, what can we learn? Other than the fact he loves finishing championships in 3rd place. Well, to me, his career represents a super consistent driver who, on his day, has the skill to fight with some of the sport's best. The bloke did beat Lando Norris at times in 2015, lads. Now, sure, he isn't quite the generational talent like a George Russell or Max Verstappen, whose junior career basically consists of them turning up, slapping the opposition and leaving, but he's certainly no Mazepin. Had he stayed in Europe post-2016, it would have been interesting to see where he would have ended up. But you never know, and we never will. However, I do feel that even though he left the UK and went to IndyCar, that hasn't negatively affected him or his skills in the slightest. In fact, I think it's done quite the opposite. Instead of a bunch of inexperienced and yes, obviously talented young drivers, Colton has spent a lot of his career competing directly against racing veterans from around the globe. Sure, IndyCar isn't the pinnacle of motorsport like Formula 1, but that doesn't mean it's a bunch of bozos driving out there. Plus, his constant success on actual circuits show he's not just built for ovals, and that he is really skilled as a racing driver. So, to conclude, is Colton Herta good enough for Formula 1? Yeah, probably. I mean, if this man's good enough for Formula 1, Colton at least deserves a shot. Will we ever see it happen though? That is a different story. With it not looking like he's going to get a super license anytime soon, his dream of F1 may be something just out of his reach. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Do you want to see Colton in F1? Do you think he's good enough for F1? If not Colton, what American would you like to see try and get into the sport next? Any comments you have on it, let us know down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. I've been Aiden, and this has been Crash F1. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.